I'm going to show you how to build an augmented reality configurator in Mattercraft without any use of code for the automotive industry. So I have in this project my Ferrari, and we will see how you can actually build the configurator without using the code. So let's get already into it and let's see. So I'm in Mattercraft in the augmented reality experiences that I built. And if you're a beginner, you have just to sign up to Mattercraft and just build your experience. So I want to show you how you can do it and then we'll pass and explain this project. So first of all, you have to register an account on Zapworks and create a new project. So select Mattercraft, and once you select Mattercraft, you title your project. So in this case, and you go open Mattercraft, and you will be in the builder. Mattercraft is amazing. You don't need any code to build your experience, but you can also use the code. And what you want to do is going to augmented reality and start with world tracking real scale. So it will import this project, it will download, and you will have all the elements that you need to build your augmented reality experience. But okay, now that I show you this the first step, I want to tell you how to build actually how I built this experience, this configurator for this Ferrari. So first of all, I downloaded this 3D model. I didn't build by myself, but I downloaded this 3D model from Sketchfab. So you can find there free 3D model. You just go to sketchfab.com and download your models, of course. This is just an example, but if you have your 3D model, it's better, and of course for your product, and you can personalize whatever you would like your clients to personalize. So then once you have your 3D model, I create the folders to be more organized, and I import the 3D model, this one, in the 3D folder, in the 3D model folder. And so as you can see, you have here the 3D model. And once we have the 3D model, you import directly into the scene. You will find already the Zapper camera once you enter in the scene. And you're going to place the 3D model under user placement anchor group. So this is the first thing, and you will have here the 3D model of your auto, your car in this case, no? Then, of course, you have to be organized, what do you want to personalize? So in this case, for example, we are going to personalize the body of the car. I decided like that, the wheels, the brake, and also the interior of the cars. So I even decided the colors, and what I did then. Basically, I decided the colors, so I used Canva to create the UI, and you can even do with the HTML or CSS, but you can do it without code. And so this will function like buttons, the colors, as you can see in the experience. And then of course also the other old UI I built, and I moved into the UI folder. So this is the first thing. Once you have all the material that you need and that you're sure that you want to personalize, well, then there is the second step. So first of all, this Ferrari has different components. So like I said, as the body parts, the wheels, the brake, etc. So in this case, as you can see here in my hierarchy, I have all the components that I want to edit in this case, where I apply the materials. So for example, in these 3D models, all the wheels material was separated. So in this case, I just went here and added new components, materials, and added mesh standard material. So once you add a mesh standard material, then you rename it. You can just do like here, you can send and then on your keyboard and then like rename it. And then you have like, the colors and all the material attached to it. So in this case, what we want to attach to this material, this is like, in this case, the wheel material. And this you do for like all the pieces that you want to edit. Of course, like if you in the 3D model, for example, all your brakes are like together, it would be better because I don't think you want your user to personalize like each brake individually, no? Of every color. So that's the first thing, and you would have less materials here. So once you added all of these stuff and all of these elements here, we pass to the UI elements and how to interact with this. So I can take this, for example, I will show you this later, but for example, we can show this UI here and then select the color of the car. So in this case, yellow or red, and it will change the color. But this I will explain later how to do it. So first thing, let's set this everything off. So first thing then is to go to the UI. So I create here like these are like 4 groups because I decided to personalize again for element here, which is again the body, the wheels, the brake, and the interiors. And so what are you going to do? The first thing is like you create, I create a folder, like remember always to be organized with everything so you can find this very easily. And you build a folder. Then I added a first component, as you can see here, where the UI is always looking at the user. So as you can see, I can move and the UI look at me. How to do that? Simply, you can go to new and add the billboard element. And this billboard element will have a look at and it will always look like at you. After you do that and you create the component, I will explain just one of these, not every element, but like then like you have I put this hotspot symbol, which is this icon with the colors, basically, to make understand that you can personalize the color. So if you want the user to personalize, maybe have different wheels, well, like I wouldn't put this, but another icon to make easy for the user, easy to understand what they are going to do. If it's changing the color, if they're changing like certain gear, something like this. So you do this as first, and then you position, of course, your hotspot where you want, and then you add another folder. This is what I did to be organized again. And I add the UI element. So in this case is okay. I'm losing like where is it? Okay, I will show you like this element here, the layer. So the background, the gray background that I have here. So with this background, and which is this one. So okay, it's this one. And once you add this, you want to maybe add the text to, or make the user understand what they're editing, or explaining a certain part of the, for example, in this part, like the body of the Ferrari. and so on. So how you can add the text, where simply you go here to the body and add the text element. So you have in this case, I have two text element, the card body and text body. So the title and the text. And once I added under the Ferrari PNG, I added all the color that would function like as a button. And so this is the things that you have to do till now to make like compelling the UI part. And now we're going to see how you can make change the body color of the Ferrari in this case again by clicking on these buttons. So of course, like you want to replicate this for like all the parts that you want to edit, but I want to show you for now like how I change the color of the car. So we do this through behaviors and animation. So first of all, what the user behavior should be like. Click on the icon to open the UI element. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is in this case add a behavior that on the click, so I set it icon pointer up, so like also on the click of like the touch of the finger, it will open the body. How you can open the body? Like in this case, you just create, I have the UI layer here. So you're just going to create a new layer, and once you create a new layer, you will have a default element that is the element of, and then you're going to create on the layer a new state. And so of course rename these elements, so always to be clear on your project, and you're going to create the state. So in this case, keep always this animation window open, and you want the UI element to be visible when I click on the icon. So this means that the output here, like as you can see again, I have a behavior UI layer activate body, and the activate body has visible true, enable true, and scale 101. This means that when I'm going, for example, in here, so like I have the body, as you can see, I have the body here, and I make this visible and enable with and a scale 101 when the active body is when the hotspot here is clicked. And how we do this, like to do that, of course, if you can see my body instead, when the animation is closed here, the scale is all to 0, so you cannot see the UI element here. It's not visible and it's not enabled. I advise you, of course, to disable also this enable, because otherwise to prevent like clicks, like for example, the user click on it and it's enabled and it can like mess with the experience. So once you do that, you have this animation basically that is going to like open your UI, and then you want to do the same thing with the button. And to do that, you're basically going to create for each color that you want, for each part that you want to edit, another layer. So you're going to create another layer, and you're going to, I have 4 options here of colors, and you're going to create every state for every color that you want to implement. So in this case, as you can see here, there is a behavior under every color, and this is like on click. So when I click the bodywork, so this button red, the Ferrari become red. And I want to show you like this state of red as body material enable and the color setted. So we're going here to, with this open, so you have this animation window open and the state open. We are going to body material that we created here before, as you can see, and simply we set the color that we want. And you do this all for the other colors. Also, for example, this blue animation, as you can see, body materials is changing. If I'm going to yellow, it's yellow. It's black, black. And you do this for like all the things that you want the user to change. So this is basically the experience, and you can test it. So for example, in live preview, you can like open the simulator. And as you can see here, I've also personalized the initial screen. And you can do that by simply going to index HTML and edit some code here. Like it's very easy, like you can ask ChatGPT to edit and build your own. I added these little images, like it's very easy. So like you then go to the experience, like it will open the camera, of course. I'm on my computer, I don't have phone here, but you can then project your augmented reality, your Ferrari in augmented reality, and change directly in the augmented reality experiences instead of passing from like the 3D. So this is like how I built my Ferrari augmented reality configurator. And you can do this with whatever, like if you are in automotive, like whatever car or whatever object you have and you sell. And if you want help in doing this, just click the link below and I will be happy to chat with you. And if you like this video, just see you at the next video.